to know evil, to truth see. Unbelief we must reconcile. See, hear, and speak. No greater cause than to let the secret of love's light lead. Unpause no more, open the truth and cry out. See, hear, and speak. No blind light to lose your way. No deaf ear to truth today. No voiceless heart, let me hear you say, see, hear, and speak.
Hello there, and welcome to Being Human with You, episode 4. I want to say right from the beginning that it's an amazing thing to see, to hear, and to be able to speak, which is this. There are, on the last episode particularly, the Friday Reflections, there are more comments than there are likes. And personally, I prefer that, because that's what this podcast is. Very comment driven. It's being human with you, it's us. So that's a wonderful growth and expansion. Keep it going. Your comments, your thoughts, your human feelings, your expressions are completely welcome here. We have spent a couple of weeks talking about a relationship with the past, being able to have the past on our terms, not on the terms of others. And it's a challenge, and I feel we'll be going to that timeline again. In some ways, I was going to say returning, going back to the past, but we can't, can we? Not in the sense of physically. Perception-wise, we can, but we can't revisit the past. Sometimes it'd be wonderful if we could, wouldn't it? But we can only do it in perception. So therefore, that's where we come to an alteration. But of course, the past still exists now, with us in this present experience. And we're going to spend some time talking about the present. There's a lot of talk around that, isn't there? There's a lot of discussion around that. We've got a message coming in, maybe that's a comment. Already. Wonderful, we've not even aired it. How is that possible? Anyway, we have a lot of information about the present. There's a lot of, I'm going to use the term because it's what came to me, what are necessarily referred to as spiritual gurus, who talk a lot about the present, being in the moment, here in the now. I do feel, though, there is a school of thought, and it's interesting that term, school of thought. I do feel there are a lot of messages that are framed as spiritual, which are very toxic and are very limiting, very disabling, not enabling. Because there's a lot of talk around the present where nothing else exists. And I feel that what's actually being promoted is the opposite of what being present in the moment is. Where almost it becomes about absence as opposed to presence. Because, for example, you would need to dedicate yourself to that one experience at the sacrifice of all others. So, for example, if you're walking along a beach, and I know a coach once said to me, when you do that, just do that. Don't do anything else. And I thought, but that doesn't work for me. And I don't think that actually works. So that was an adjustment in my experience, in my approach to being present. I do feel there's truth around when we're doing something, we want to immerse ourselves, absorb ourselves in that, but we cannot compartmentalize. Another message. We cannot compartmentalize, we can't separate the present from the past and the future. we can be to some degree more present in the now, but I feel it's almost an alienation, an isolation, a frustration, a way that creates an unattainable outcome for us. And some people say you need to stop doing so many things. You need to, and I'm not criticizing this, by the way, because there's a lot of care around that. But being present is a combination of a number of different things. Yes, we can immerse ourselves, taking time out. That was the thing I was thinking about. So in a way, I've introduced the thought already, which is rather than to begin with talking about what being present is, I'm going to share with you what I feel it isn't. And then I welcome your thoughts, your comments. So, for example, back to that example of walking along the beach. I had moments within that experience where I was completely in that experience, walking along the beach. What I would then do is take advantage of the present moment to then create. So, for example, I might do a walk and talk as I'm on the beach, because I didn't feel the need, and I don't think there is a need, to separate myself from other future possibilities in the present. That's where I'm coming from with this compartmentalized way of being. So in other words, at time of recording, I'll share this over this part of the podcast. I started recording at 11:11. This is Saturday, May the 9th. I'll be airing this officially Monday, May the 11th. Quick bit of arithmetic there. Never my strong point. But I thought that was a moment. So I acknowledged the moment. Okay. Beautiful graphic as I turned the computer on. A bear. And it was wonderful. And I just looked at it, 11:11. I thought, well, I must take a photograph of that. So I captured that moment. It's just coming up to after 11:11. So as I've mentioned, I now have this day. I now have this day. So let me expand this further. I'll explain where my brain is going. I now need to, according to the concept of sun, I need to now have 2 or 3 hours or more where I'm doing nothing. Or I'm doing something that could be considered to be therapeutic or restful. I feel there's a bit of a trap in that. I'm not criticizing it, I'm not at all. Because, of course, everyone is different. It's what works for each individual. For me, I will be doing something, writing a song, working on the book, composing some content I'm going to share. And I am present within that. But at times I will come out of that and then be present in something else. So rather than it being this period where you're doing activity, then you're not doing activity. The term multitasking, I'm trying to frame an alternative to that term, multitasking, because it does denote activity. But my thought is this: I think you can be doing something and not nothing, but be present and restful at the same time. It's not two separate things. It's not time spent doing the task, now time spent resting. We can do at the same time. We're multi-dimensional creatures. And even if we don't have a belief system, I don't personally, I don't have a rigid dogmatic belief system. Yet spirit exists. How we define that might be different, but I can be doing something physical and spiritual at the same time. It's not that the two are wrestling against each other. So that's my beginning thought around the thought of present. The present is the now, and from that 11:11 presence earlier, we've now moved on. We now moved on. So this now becomes, and the present, as I'm saying that, we're moving into the future all of the time, or into a renewed now. But we can also have the future now. A great message that came to me, which is writing. When we write, when I'm writing, sometimes that is with pen, very rarely I might be on a keyboard and typing. But as I'm typing those words are shaping the future. But what I'm also doing is not thinking, well, the past is back there. The past is back there. I'm going to leave that now. I'm now here in the present. And at some point, I'm going to move into the future. The three are constant. The three are constant. How do you find it? And I do at times. I escape. I used to use a term a few years ago. I'm going to disappear for a while. And I wouldn't necessarily listen to a meditation. I would just completely reset, almost like the computer I'm using at the moment. I would shut down for a period of time. And I developed the ability to be able to do that. That came from coping with dark places, being able to try to go within even more. But I want to emphasize again, I want this message to come through clearly because I really feel it's important. It's not coming from an expertise point of view. That's back to the school of thought, the dogmatic, rigid way of being. But I also acknowledge we've got our own different ways. So it might be that you perhaps take a few hours out. That's fine. I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying that shouldn't be the way that's prescribed. Because what works for you may not work for me. What I am suggesting is an alternate view. And I don't see it a lot. I see this thought of that section, this section, that section. A very compartmentalized way of being. So I'm in this moment with you. Now, I am thinking out loud. I am thinking out loud. Yet, concurrently, I have thoughts of previous and yet to be arriving. And they're changing as I now go into this renewed moment. If I bring this into this thought, which is, I do feel it's important when we're doing something. When I'm at work, I endeavour to do the best I can, because my mind does move a lot, as all of ours does, to be fully immersed, fully involved in what I'm doing there. If I'm composing music or writing, I want to be fully immersed in that experience. The multitasking, the multidimensional way of being, I don't think it's a word, but multidimensionalizing. I'm going to work on that one. If anyone wants to make a suggestion in the comments, I think I'm going to clip this. If anyone wants to make a suggestion in the comments of altering that expression, multitasking, it's very cold, isn't it? It's very calculated. It's very work-based. Is there a more creative way, which I would welcome your thoughts on, of multidimensionalizing? So in other words, energetically, spiritually, soul energy, we can do more than one thing at the same time. Have you got an expression for that? That's a replacement of multitasking. I'd love to have your thoughts. I really, really would. We will grow this. I'm looking for suggestions that go deeper, but also suggestions of what you do to be present. How do you manage mindfulness? Some people perhaps feel this is some a spiritual woo-woo practice. I can't remember how many years now, quite a few, probably about 15. I became aware of this practice of mindfulness, this presence. And I feel it is now. I'm looking at the wall over there, and I'm captured by the pattern on the wall. So I'm fully aware of that. I'm present with that. So it's attention, really, isn't it? It's giving attention. It's giving more focused attention to things. That, of course, can move. So therefore, you might feel within that practice of going deeper, perhaps you've thought, well, I can't do it. Maybe you've tried to practice meditation and you feel from the schools that you've received it from that you have to clear your mind of all things. You have to get rid of, you have to be absent. Well, within the energy of being human, I would suggest that is virtually impossible. And some would say that's a nirvana-like state, a way of transcending thought. Part of being human is, of course, thinking. Also, of course, a large part of being human is being. So again, I want to challenge these trite throwaway comments of taking time out. Don't be thinking about those things now. But also, if you acknowledge the thoughts, rather than trying to banish the thoughts as if they're some invading army, you acknowledge them, you recognize them. We, not just you, we have the opportunity to do something with them. So when we are taking that time to not be doing as much, then it's easier then, isn't it, if things arrive for us to accept those thoughts. On some occasions, depending on the thoughts, to embrace them, to take them, utilize them, create from them. So it's a big subject, isn't it? And funny enough, when I did a little bit of thought through this fractional research, I'm not a great fan of this go to the experts type way of being. I'm not claiming to be that. I'm a human having an experience, as are you. That this immediate challenge of absence of thought, presence can contain, so being in the present can contain the past and the future, all at the same time. And rather than it being a confrontation, a war, a battle, we accept. And remember from previous discussions, that acceptance is not surrender. It's not, we have to let it go, we have to forgive. No. It's creating on our terms. So it's being present on our terms. How we are here in this moment. What do you feel? You can tell it's a stream of thought, and that's how it's going to be. That's not going to change. Another sheet up to the side of things written down. Okay, we must go through this bullet point or that bullet point. Not at all. It's a conversation. It's an open flow with you. But what about being present? Does it mean? Do you agree? Do you agree with those who say being present means that you've got to get rid of thinking about what's happening next? Is that what being present means? If it is, how is that achieved and why is that a good thing? If it is a good thing. Or, as I'm presenting, or the present, we can do all of those things at the same time. I can be on the beach, I can have a moment, And that moment feels like it lasts forever. So I don't need it to be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It's nothing to do with being a workaholic. I'm not a workaholic at all. I'm happy when it feels the correct time to take what could be perceived to be more time. But it's not absence, it's presence. What do you think? I'd love to have your thoughts. We're going to have presence of present, past, and future. There you go, different order. Interesting. Interesting. Creatively, musically, I'm going to share with you from this day on a final track from the album Inside of Me. It's available on Bandcamp for you to download. It's available everywhere else, all download and streaming platforms. And if you think of the name of the song, I'm not going to over-explain where it came from. It does contain present and future from this day on. The fuel of it, when you listen to the lyrics of the song, is the rest of the album, which is a lot of past, some present. From this day on, from this day on, past and present. Then I'll share with you, I don't think I'll share the entire track, but some of A-I-A-I-I. Feels like we're singing a song, doesn't it? All is as it is. All is as it is. Judea Gaze from the EP, The Songs, Phase 1. That's released now. Available on Bandcamp and all other platforms. I'll drop some links in the description here. Then, fractionally future, because at time of release, the album Oversoul the Reform will be available everywhere on Friday, May the 15th, 2026. It's currently available on Bandcamp. Past, present, future to some degree. And all of those things in this moment. Keep the comments coming. Tell me, what does being present mean? What does being in the moment mean? Here in the now. What does it mean? Is it spending hours outside of doing things? Or can we do and be at the same time? There's a parting thought. Much love to you, and keep those thoughts coming. Really, really do appreciate it. Share this. Subscribe, yes, but above all else, share your wonderful human being thoughts in the comments. Keep being the incredible, amazing human being that you are. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
From this day on, I sign off these songs, authentically yours. Forgetful thief, what did you achieve by gaining opinion at the doors? From this day on, if I ever bleed again, I'll bleed in my own time. Thank you. From this day on, I'll share inside of me the voice within so true. From this day on, has begun. From this day on, has begun. From this day on, I belong. From this day on, the reflection in the mirror of me is no longer formed by your deceit. From this day on, whatever my name, I owe my life, and I've got the receipt. From this day on, father, mother, sisters, others, it's time for me to begin. From this day on, if you want to destroy me, then cast the first stone if you're without sin. From this day on, past be gone. From this day on, past be gone. From this day on, I belong. From this day on, no more the easy enemy. From this day on, from this day on, I sign off authentically yours. Every one of these songs. From this day on, past be gone. I've murdered the past at last. From this day on, not living in the past. The future is mine to hold fast. From this day on, from this day on, from this day on, from this day on, past be gone. We belong. The future is ours to hold fast. From this day, from this day, from this day on. Okay, Mark, that's that. What's next? Evolution, revolution, creation is it time? Follow the science, time's reliance. Is it flat or is it round? Money trial, blind compliance is the research found. Follow the trail, systems rigged to fail. Time marches to its own sound. Time flows, hold it, don't waste it. Time flows, eat it and taste it. We are here beyond, in the moment gone, never lost in the throng. We are here, more than one song in a clock, our time to belong. We are here, we are here, we are here. Be long. Revolution, no control, constitution. Isn't it ironic how it flies? Weigh every moment amount, make every tick count. For time marches. Time flows, hold it, don't waste it. Time flows, eat it and taste it. We are here beyond, in the moment gone, but never lost in the throng. We are here, more than one song in a clock, our time to belong. We are here, we are here. We are here, we are here. Flowers, cronuts. We are here, we are here, we are